Hello, everybody. How's everybody doing today? I hope you're enjoying your summer. So far, we are. We've spent a lot of time at Outdoor Adventure and just trying to do all kinds of stuff with the kids before summer's over. Trying to work on my tan. Sorry about that. So anyways, I just wanted to hop on here and talk to everybody about my reason for why I've started being a member in Young Living and how important it is to me, and why I'm so passionate about it. For some of you, it's new. This is all new to you. You knew me previously, and I started doing this, and you're kind of like, whoa, what's she doing? Always talking about Young Living and this Young Living and essential oils. Some of you, actually a lot of you, have met me after I started with Young Living, and so that's how you know me, and the only way you know me is that my life is about Young Living. So I just wanted to share with everybody why I am all about Young Living and why my family's all about Young Living and why we love it so much. So I was introduced to Young Living a few months back. It's probably been a little over 6 months now, by an acquaintance of mine. Her name is Rebecca. Our sons went to preschool together, and she was on my Facebook, and she saw me posting about my kids being sick, and she messaged me and asked if I have ever tried essential oils, and at that point I had not. So she invited me to a class the next night, and it was super interesting, and I loved everything that I heard, so I immediately just started doing all the research I could. And when I did my research, I didn't just look up, why is Young Living so great? Like, I looked up other things too. I wanted to know what the bad was about it, why I shouldn't use it. And to my surprise, I literally did not find anything. So I had talked to a ton of people about it. I went to a ton of classes. I just did a ton of research. Anything I could research, I was researching it all the time, every day. So I finally decided to become a member, and at the time I was waiting for my starter kit to come in the mail. So when you become a member, you get this starter kit with these 11 oils and a diffuser that gets you started. They're called everyday oils, and it's because when you do this kind of lifestyle change, you literally use these oils every day. So my son, who's 6 now, he has been suffering from a lot of respiratory issues since he was about 2 years old. He had been diagnosed with bronchitis at that time, and just ever since then, it was one thing after another all winter long. He had this dry cough. His doctor had told me that he was too young for any sort of diagnosis relating to his respiratory issues. We eventually found a doctor that referred us to a specialist and found out that his respiratory issues were not just in my imagination. It was a real thing that he had going on. I missed a lot of work because of it. I worked in a doctor's office, a very busy doctor's office, and I felt very guilty all the time, every time I had to call into work. And I really just felt stupid over it because I was calling into work because my son had a cough. Like, so what? Your kid's coughing. But it was such a bad cough. Cough medicine didn't work for him ever in his life. And once we went to that specialist, I found out that with what he had going on, cough medicine didn't work for that. And so that was like a, oh my gosh, that makes so much sense, type thing. So that like really helped me out. Like, there's no reason to ever give him cough medicine again because it won't help him. So what it was is this, if he had any sort of junk going on, where his immune system was lowered, he would get this really dry, nagging cough where he could not even breathe without coughing. It was all day, all night, cough, cough, cough. And it would end up in him he would have to get steroids. He would have to get a prescription from the doctor and get put on steroids, and that was the only thing at the time that had helped him stop coughing up until last winter. So, the day that I was waiting for my kit, it was supposed to be delivered that day, and I'm like so excited, literally like staring out the window waiting for it to get delivered to my house. And that day my son had this nagging cough. It had been going on for a couple days. I wasn't working at the time, so it wasn't such a big deal that I had to miss work or anything like that. I was able to stay home and take care of him the best that I could. So that when I got my oils in the mail, the first thing I did was look up what I could use for this cough. So there's an oil called RC oil, and it was exactly what I needed to help his respiratory system and support it. So I got that oil, I put it on his throat, and I put it on the back of his neck, and I was immediately relieved and surprised that he stopped coughing. I could not believe it. So, the oils, to me, I heard all these amazing stories, I read all these amazing things, but it was something that I had to see to believe. And when I put that oil on my 6-year-old son, sorry, he wasn't 6 yet, he just turned 6 in June. He was still 5. So we had been struggling with this for about 3 years, maybe 3.5. And I put that oil on him, and he stopped coughing, and I was literally amazed. So I saw it, and I believe it, and I was like, okay, this works, and I am all in. And that's all it took. Like, I will never stop using Young Living's oils and products in my life. They are amazing. I've had tons of success with other things. It's not just the RC oil that helped my son. So that was just the very first thing that I tried, and it pulled me right in. It was literally amazing, and I will use them for the rest of my life. I've used them a ton of times to help me. I use them on my boyfriend every day. I use them on my daughter. I use them on my stepdaughter. I use them on my puppy. I was so very excited to get my puppy to put oils on her when I found out my boyfriend was getting the puppy. That's one of the first things I thought. I get to use my oils on their puppy. Yay! So our family is very well oiled, and I could not be more happy that Rebecca introduced me to Young Living. And so we will always use Young Living, and I use it to support our immune systems. I use it for everything possible. I use it to clean my house. So that is why Young Living is my life, and it is why Young Living is my entire family's life. And it is also why I'm so passionate about getting it into everybody else's homes. I know that it helped my son in that way, and I've seen the way that it's helped all of the other things that we've had going on in our family, and I want to be able to get that in other people's homes to help other people. If someone's struggling with what I struggled with my son, I didn't even have to deal with what he was dealing with that respiratory issue. But I had to deal with being the helpless mom who couldn't do anything to help him. And that was hard enough. I couldn't imagine how he felt with the cough he had going on. And there's so many other people out there who have to deal with that, and they have no idea that they can use Young Living's oils, and that there's so many other products they can use for so many other issues and so many things to support your body. So I am super passionate, and I want everybody to use these things. Everybody needs them in their home and in their life. So that's me, and this is our family, and Young Living is our life, and that is why.